Here are some energy transition story angles you might be familiar with. Coal prices, the potential of renewables, even the shift to electric vehicles. But what about fairness in energy transition? Even so-called renewable energy sources won't be considered clean if it creates conflicts, further damage the environment, or harms the society. Hi, I'm Della Syahni, a freelance journalist from Indonesia. I've been covering energy transitions and indigenous people since 2017. My articles are featured in Mongabay and Project Multatuli, among others. In this video, I will help you figure out how to tell better stories about energy transition that's fair and just. Calling for a just energy transitions means calling to ensure that the lives tied to high-emitting energy industries, such as coal, are not left behind in the shift toward a low-emission economy. When reporting stories through the lens of just energy transition, we focus more on people, those who make the decisions and those who are affected by them. What matters is not simply whether people can have equal quality access to clean energy. It's about how this access is created in the first place and whether it tramples on the rights of certain communities in the process. So if you are going to cover a just energy transition stories and are not quite sure where to begin, here are some tips that might work for you. Tip number 1. Widen your horizon. Step away from mainstream angles like energy source or power plant. Remember, those are just single steps in a long process that is energy transition. You'll be surprised to see many other significant points you can explore. You can talk about the hidden costs of exploring and operating power plants fueled by renewables. In such cases, surrounding communities are usually the ones who have to pay for this heavy cost, often with their lives. Take geothermal exploration as an example. People literally died from hydrogen sulfide gas poisoning during geothermal extraction. Yields are reportedly decreasing and people's roofs can collapse anytime due to rapid rusting. You can also tie the people and the environment angles together. My country, Indonesia, is currently aiming to be the world's top producer and exporter of batteries for electric vehicles. After all, we are the largest producer of nickel ore, the main raw material for producing lithium batteries. People often talk about how much money the industry will make, but not many are aware of the air and water pollution created around nickel mining sites and smelters. And that's often the case with any large power plant construction or operation fueled by any energy source, not to mention the illegal forest clearing and forceful land grabbing that are usually involved. It is sad, but bad actors oftentimes perceive renewable energy projects as an excuse to raze our forests. Which brings us to tip number 2. Pay close attention to the most vulnerable groups. Women, children, and indigenous people. They are often neglected when it comes to energy access and policy, yet they are the ones who bear with the most consequences. Let their voices be heard. And speaking of consequences, here's the third and the last tip. When it comes to disasters, focus more on the root causes. Most disasters are not simple natural phenomena, but rather the result of human errors. Try to introduce the concept of energy disaster so that people can identify who benefits from the disaster and who suffers the most. By using the just energy transition approach, we can drive action and change through our stories. For example, use the opportunity to highlight small-scale renewable energy power plants managed by local communities. We can show that it's possible for people to be prosumers, who produce and consume energy at the same time. Such initiatives can help the shift away from big power plants and the environmental damage associated with them. Be an outlet for the most afflicted to voice out their thoughts. Push the stakeholders from the bottom up to formulate inclusive and just energy policies. After all, we, journalists, hold power in our stories. Make them as meaningful and impactful as you possibly can.